Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds good. I
That's
like that
nice.
title. That'll work.
You competed this Olympics and in Beijing, and you were in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
You compete for the U.S. and you compete for Australia.
Australia and a little bit US, but back to
Yeah.
Australia again now. I'm kind of flipping.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Best of both
Whatever's
worlds.
working out here. No, I got the best of both worlds.
That's it.
So now you came to cheer her on this time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How did yesterday's race go?
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I think I executed my race plan, and that it's a lot more of a game in this style of racing, and so you need different players. It's not just about you. It's just a little different. So it didn't fall my way yesterday, but it's fine. That's what I trained for, and I did that, and because nobody else was there, it didn't quite turn out, but it's okay.
So what's next for you?
We'll do a race back in the U.S. Hy-Vee, which is a big prize money race, and then I'll have a couple of smaller races, and then I'll go and support Greg for 70.3 Worlds in Kona.
Wow, so you have...
Those are his next two.
Yeah,
events.
I've got a few big ones because I'll do the
Yeah.
Hy-Vee race. So we've both won Hy-Vee before, and that's $1 million race, and so it's
$1 million race.
yeah, that's the biggest one in the world. So we kind of, for both of us, we've had a lot of fortune there, and we.
Wow. You said you enjoyed the professional racing training better than sort of than competing at the Olympic level. Can you tell us a little bit what the difference is? Because I was shocked, to be honest, and I had no idea there was like that big of a difference. You just assume that it's like the same thing. It's the same race.
Well, I mean, they're very
Yeah.
similar. You have the Olympics, which comes under the International Triathlon Union, which is the world governing body, and then they have their own series that sets the athletes up for the Olympics. So the World Cups and all the ITU racing. And the format of racing that they do is what they call draft legal. So you can draft in the swim, you can draft on the bike, and so it makes all the racing very, very close. You know, everybody's together all the time, and then it often comes down just a fast running race.
Okay.
The races that we would term, say, professional or otherwise is non-drafting events where they have rules on how far apart you have to be as an athlete. You have to do it on your own. And
So it's more individual.
Yeah,
more
it's more
individual
like an individual
and-
time trial, but you're
Gotcha.
still all on the course at the same time. The races Greg is mentioning is a little bit more weighted to the bike and the run, and the swim is probably the least. So where you put all your energy.
How did you get into getting into this seriously to make this your whole career?
For me, it was always, through university, I kept doing races and things, and suddenly people would pay you prize money, and then we want to sponsor you, and I'm like, to wear this product or whatever. I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty good. And probably about '94, I was making my first Australian teams and traveling around the world, and now I was sort of making money and graduating university. I was like, this kind of sounds pretty cool. And it was,
Exactly.
and it was big in Australia in the 90s. We had a professional series that was live television, and we made reasonably good income, and then we would travel the world, during the northern hemisphere summers, and that's where we kind of met in 2000.
How did you meet?
Yeah, in 2000 in Victoria, BC. Yeah, Greg was on a training camp there, and I came out for one. And I mean, we had met maybe in '98 just briefly, like on the circuit in Australia, because the U.S. would then go down, like the girls that were a little bit more serious about racing would go and do winter in Australia, and that's when their racing season was on, what he mentioned, Tooheys Blue and stuff. And so we would try to get fit during that period and then come back to the U.S. and start racing and everything. And so met briefly there, but then again 2 years later, met in Victoria, BC, and been together ever since.
We never dated. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I know.
We met in Victoria, BC, and I think I'd just broken up with a girl. It's not you, it's me type thing. And
She was not very fit.
No,
not
she wasn't fitted up. And I remember walking into the pool and seeing this girl right down the end of the pool. And I'm like, she looks all right. And that was it.
Nice.
And I think I took her out for coffee, and it was like,
Yeah, because we were
and
heading
then
back down to Australia
yeah.
for that series again, and so we ended up just, I guess we might as well just live together. You started dating or whatever, but we never kind of went out on a date. And so,
He never saw you with makeup on or dressed up in heels?
no.
I know.
What is a typical day, like a work day in your life? Like, people go to the office, what's your day?
It really is just about honestly, we get up fairly early, especially, I mean, in Boulder, in Colorado.
Yeah.
We get up, we probably get up around 4:35, and we probably have a coffee, and we enjoy our hour before we have to do activity. It's called our coffee time, our time to check emails, to chat about the day, wake up slowly. You know, we're getting older, and it's kind of, we need more time.
Yeah. I know.
And then,
That's it.
usually we would do some pre-warm-up activities at home, like rollers and things, get the muscles warmed up and everything before we head out the door. And we would usually start most days with a run. You know, and depending on the day, it might be a shorter run, and then we'll swim, and then we'll bike, or it could be a really
So
long
you do
run.
all three every day, pretty much?
Not every day. We might bike 4 or 5 times a week. We would run every day, and we would swim probably 6 to 7 times a week. So, yeah.
For the couple that is always so active and intense, what do you do to unwind, like, outside of training? When you go on vacation, do you exercise, or what do you do to just kind
We
of
don't do much on vacation, do
Yeah.
we? We don't. It's not like we love swimming, biking, and running. This is the other thing, you know, people think,
Right?
you know, it's like we don't love
I
swimming,
love
biking,
that.
and running,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we love the sport of triathlon, we love the people, and we love to try and be the best. And I think a lot of people think, oh, you must love swimming, biking, and running. It's like, no, when I'm on vacation, I don't really want to go for a mountain bike. I don't want to go for
I don't want
Yeah.
to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is our job to some
Yeah.
degree. It's not
Yeah.
that we
Like, I
hate
mean,
it either. It's not
yeah.
that we hate swimming, biking, and running. But
No, but usually sometimes during break, you just do an easy jog just to feel good.
Yeah, that's,
You know, get your
yeah.
little fix of endorphins, but not too many.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
right.
Just
Yeah.
to wake up and be like, okay, let's start our day and relax. But the good thing about our breaks is not having to worry about your diet and just eat. Because if you're, you know, you can't have certain foods before training, otherwise you feel kind of sick and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you're always trying to kind of calculate, I need the energy, but
Well, you're
you know,
so in tune with your
things-
body. At
Yeah,
that stage,
exactly.
you, like, no one knows their body better than, especially endurance athletes. Like, every little thing, you
yeah,
can, like,
little
wow.
quinoa slip in. And
Especially
you
Yeah, excuse me.
This one here feels everything.
I know, it's awful.
We're almost two extremes in that part. We're very
Yeah.
similar, but I don't feel too much, which is really a great luxury I have, but it's also really bad. Because
Yeah.
I can train myself till I'm completely broken.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have the heads up. I'm like, oh, my knee's
Or you
blowing
do
out.
what you do,
Oh.
power through it. It's really not bothering me
Yeah.
that
Well,
bad.
no, I
Exactly.
don't actually feel it. Whereas Laura will feel like, oh, my left toe is just not quite landing right while I'm
Yeah.
running. I'll be like, really? You can feel that?
That's awesome. So where can we watch you next? Where can we all watch you next? On television.
Hy-Vee, I would
Yeah, Des
say.
Moines,
Des
Iowa
Moines,
is the
Iowa.
big money,
Des Moines,
big
Iowa.
money
Date.
race.
What's the date of that?
2nd of September.
And you're both in this.
Yes.
We're both in that one, and then you're pretty much, she'll do maybe LA
Yeah,
and a couple of
maybe
others.
just a couple of filler races,
Yeah.
just to take a break at the same time,
Yeah,
but
we
not
try
be
and
like
make sure
completely out of shape by the time I break
Right,
with
right.
him, you
Yeah.
know?
We have to give a shout out to Team Zico too. Because
Oh, absolutely,
Greg
yeah.
is also a Team Zico member with me. We got to get Laura in there too.
Yeah, we do.
Nice.
So thank you guys. This was so much fun. Thank you
Yeah,
guys
thanks,
so
Missy.
much,
Yeah.
and good luck in
All
Des
right.
Moines. I hope that you guys are enjoying all of the Livestrong Olympic coverage. Stay tuned for more fashion, food, athletes, and more. Bye, guys.
Team champions of fight.